Hello, my hardworking students, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxana, and I am your online tutor for today. I'm also a qualified teacher in the UK, and I really like doing these videos for those of you out there who are struggling with maths and need extra support. You might have dyslexia, dyscalculia, or just need a bit more visual explanations and repetition to get these methods down and be confident with it. Okay, so if that is the case, this is the channel for you. This is a full lesson video where you have a beginning where I explain how to do things, and then you have a few activities that are different, but they're all based on the same topic, and you get to do a lot of work in your book, and then you also get the answers and the examples. There's also a continuous repetition, which means that you get to do the same type of question several times until you get it right, and then you can find out if you've done it right. And it's really rewarding when you mark the work and you realize that you managed to do the correct answer. Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to look at multiplying negative numbers. I've seen this topic coming whenever I was teaching even algebra. If you're not confident with this topic, it's really difficult to work with algebra with abstract numbers. If you have to multiply even letters that have negative values in front of them, if they have a minus in front, you always have to know how to work with those. Otherwise, you are going to get things wrong, even though you actually understood how to expand brackets or how to factorize and things like that. Okay, here's a silly starter for you. Let's just see how you get on with that. Okay, so let's see. How would I do that? Well, you kind of need to know square numbers and cube the numbers here. So what number to the power of 3 gives you 27? What number do you times by itself 3 times? Well, if you do 2 times 2 times 2, that gives you 8. So this is a 3. You can do this on a calculator if you do a cube root of 27, basically. That's how you can find that on a calculator. Then here you have a 3, so it means if you get this out by dividing 24 by 3, it means you have owl times owl times owl gives you an 8. So what number do you times by itself 3 times to give you 8? You can do the same. You can do cube root of 8, and that gives you 2. Okay, so I know this is a 2, and I know this is a 3, and that's a 96. So basically, I can do 2 times 3 is 6, and then I can divide 96 by 6. 96 divided by 6 gives me 16. So it means that the sheep times the sheep is 16. So one of them has to be 4. Okay, this is 4, this is 3, and this is 2. In here, you have to know your order of operations. In some schools, they call it bit mass. In others, they call it gems. It's called the order of operation, okay? I mean, that is the general topic. Okay, so in here, you have to know that multiplication has to be done before adding. So you do 6, and then you add the 4 with the 6, yeah? You don't add the 4 with the 3 and then double it. That's not going to give the right answer. So you have 6 plus 4, yeah? So that should give you 10. Okay, that's it. That's the whole fun now. Okay, so here we go. When you multiply numbers, I want you to think about, let's just think about this negative 3. What does it mean that you double a number? When you double a number, means you add the number by itself, yeah? So you do negative 3, negative 3. So how much does this give you? This, you should know how to add and subtract negative numbers by now. If you don't know, you should go and watch one of my videos where I have this topic explained in more in depth and you have some practice questions. Okay, if you are here, you should know that -3 with a -3 gives you -6, okay? Then here we have the same thing. We have a -2 and we have to double the -2. So that gives us a -4, yeah? And here, this should give you a +12, and I'll explain to you why. If you have two numbers that are positive, you've known this since primary. Two numbers that are positive, if you times them together, you get a positive number, yeah? But if the numbers are different from each other, yeah, if the first one is negative and second one is positive, or the other way around, yeah, if you had a 3 multiplied by a -2, you would still get a -6. Basically what this says is that if the signs are different, then your answer is negative, yeah? If the signs are different, the answer is negative. Doesn't matter if the negative is first or is second. And then if the numbers are both negative, then the answer is positive, yeah? So if the signs are the same, the answer is positive, which means you either have two positives or two negatives, yeah? So if your numbers are the same, yeah, if your numbers have the same sign, if you have two positives or two negatives, then your answer is going to be positive. And if you don't know why two negatives multiplied together give you a positive, imagine we have this sentence. You can say, I'm not saying that I'm not hungry. So in this phrase, I've used the negative twice. First I said, I am not saying, and the second time I said that I'm not hungry. So basically, when you hear this, I'm not saying that I'm not hungry, what does it mean? Does it mean that I'm hungry or that I'm not hungry? Well, it actually means that I am hungry. So I used two negatives to say something to you that is positive. So I said twice that I'm not hungry, but actually it means that I am. So that's the same in mathematics. You say you have a negative with another negative, it cancels and it gives you a positive. Okay, so if you understood that and you're confident, let's look at this. Okay, so here you have a positive with a negative. This is going to give you a negative. You have a negative with a positive, is going to give you a negative. A negative with a positive is going to give you a negative. And here you're going to get a positive. Okay? So that being said, now I'm going to quickly delete all of those signs. And I want you to do these questions as quickly as you can. In your book, make sure you write. You're probably not going to copy them down, but you need to write A and then you write the answer, -6, yeah, something like that. And then you can mark them after this, okay? So pause the video and get to work. Okay, and I'm back. Let me give you the answers. Here are the answers. Okay, mark the work and then we can move on to something else. Okay, let's see. Activity 2. Right, so here's what we need to do. We have to take them 2 at a time. So you do this first. That gives you 6, and then you multiply that by the -2. Obviously you have a positive and a negative, so your answer is going to be negative. And in here, when you have a square, when you have a number squared, what does it mean? Let's say if you have, not 2, let's just say we have a 3. 3 squared means you multiply 3 by itself. So if you have to do 3 squared minus 3 squared minus 3 squared, that means you multiply minus 3 with itself. That's what you do. And that should give you, because there's two negatives here, you have to get a positive answer. Okay? Now that you've seen that, pause the video and get to work. You should be able to do both activities. If you make any mistakes, it's probably going to be a silly mistake if you understood what I explained to you. Okay, and I'm back. You can still pause it if you need more time, obviously. And here are the answers. I hope you got most of them right. If you haven't, you can ask questions in the comments. Feel free to be active as you like. I promise I'm going to do my best to answer all of them. Okay, and the last activity, here you have to figure out what do you put in the box to get this answer. Okay, pause the video again and do this in your book quickly, and then we can mark them. Okay, so let's see. This one, because you get a negative, obviously this has to be positive. This one has to be positive. This one can only be 0. This one has to be 9. Okay. And I'll just give you the answers. Here you go. These are the answers for the rest of it. You don't actually need me to explain. Okay, so these are all the questions for today. I hope you enjoyed them and I hope you've learned something new. And if you have any suggestion of any topic you would like me to do next, feel free to leave a comment and I'm happy to do a video with the topics that you struggle with. Thank you for watching so far, and I am going to see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so bye for now and I'll see you soon.